How's it going? So, two things I want to accomplish in this video. I want to genuinely congratulate Adam Lohr on getting to what I feel is a very appropriate position on certain key issues. And another thing I want to do is not gloat and look to the future with temperance and with reason, because how many Adam Lohrs do we need for an Atheist Headquarters? It's not a trick question. We need 10,000 of them. 10,000 times 100 is 1,000,000. That's the price tag of an Atheist Headquarters, and so these aren't cheap shacks. And that, what I'm talking about there, doesn't have stained glass, doesn't have statues. I'm just talking about a bare bones structure building where people can enter and feel comfortable. I'm not talking about furniture. This is just architectural land and accomplishment. But nevertheless, this is a really good thing. Somehow, in the gigantic internet that's out there, we managed to find somebody that, one, was a theist, two, was genuinely open-minded and ready to re-examine the evidence, and three, was really willing to put $100 on the line in order to get at the truth. Now, I played good cop and bad cop with him, and I'm not always the most convincing person. I think that Richard Dawkins curses less. He's less gruff and ugly. He's more informed about biology and about the state of science as it stands right now than I am. And so there are people out there that are better at convincing people to be atheists, but I do also feel a sense of pride and hope over the ability to get another atheist in the world. And between $100 for the Atheist Headquarters and a brand new atheist on the world scene, I say the second one is much more value. It has much more value, is much more valuable. So Adam Lohr, congratulations on making it in. Welcome to the atheist community on YouTube, and to the world of reason. And thank you for the donation to the Atheist Headquarters. I'm just going to accept it as a donation and not a winning of the challenge, because frankly, I think that this is something that you would be amazed at if this building gets constructed and if we move along on our way. And lastly, remember, we don't get to get the G-rubs. I don't know if I've already said this in this video. This is like a third take, because the first few I was just kind of happy and gloating and a little uncomfortable with it. And that's not the approach I want to take here. We don't get G-rubs. We don't get Jesus freaks. We don't get together for pieces. Those people have lost already. Fail. They're gone. You might as well try and convert a toad to materialism, whatever that would mean, right? It's not in their nature. They're beyond reason. And so all your video responses to them are nothing. I got Adam Lohr in 3 video responses. How many has Jesus Freak 777 gotten? Hundreds, right? It's because you don't have to come out of your cage so easy. You know, you don't. When some theist says, yeah, slavery in the Bible, A-okay with me, or atheists suck or something, why debunk it? The bunk stands on its face. Just look at them, right? But when somebody says, hey, I'm open to evidence, that's what I'm learning in this instance. That's when you can really go ahead, play all your cards, put those trump down, you know? And so those are some of the lessons and some of the ways I'm going to approach this, because we have a lot more work to do. We need 10,000 of Adam Lohrs, and not just because he's a good man and because we need it in the community, but because an Atheist Headquarters is one way to make a bid for long-term presence in our culture. I want to say eternity, right? But that's nonsense. Having those buildings there, though, can last generations, maybe centuries, maybe millennia. And so, redouble our efforts, of course, but more than that, let's take a moment to just be happy and welcome him. So please send him a private message congratulating him on coming close to the truth. And lastly, very last thing, it's a long video of nothing, right? But he's not in agreement with me on religious issues. He thinks that it's possible for God to exist. So what I did was bring him into agreement with the rest of the YouTube community. And I did that by being more atheist than anyone else. And I did it by holding the concept of God in place with the way it has historically and currently, culturally, is in our language. So I hope that makes sense to you, that if you look back at the record of our discussions, that the way that you convince people isn't by saying, oh, you're right, atheism gets its morals from Christianity, but maybe God doesn't exist or something. Or, oh, you're right, maybe we have souls, but no. You just say the truth and you keep at it, right? My opinion really is that it is impossible that God exists, as described by the religious. And who else is going to describe God? The non-religious don't believe in one. So I genuinely think even the liberal theologians don't have a legitimate definition for God, and when they do, it's testable, and it fails the tests. So he's not in accordance with me there because he thinks there's the possibility. And kudos to him. Have an open mind. I'm happy with every kind of atheism. So I'm very tolerant of different ideas. But I do actually think that of the two opinions, the falsification way of looking makes more sense to me. And just lastly, goodbye, peace. What am I doing in this long video? But we can't take this long getting them. We have to get them en masse. There are billions of them. We have 4 billion more theists to go. You realize? One down. And they're breeding faster than we can produce condoms for them to ignore. So 5 billion by the time we get them around to them, right? It's an eternal struggle. We'll never actually get every last theist. So it's a foolish goal. But, do you see what I mean? There's a lot more work to do, and this was a person that was, at his core, pretty reasonable in spite of his theism. So, actually convincing the unreasonable theists might always be beyond our grasp. But keep reaching, and, also put some hooks out there. Later, guys.